Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's Weekly Energy Boost. My name is Elisheva, and today Eitan and I are really looking forward to sharing with you the true reality in that everything is possible. And this week, we have the really once a year opportunity to connect to infinite possibilities. We have a week that contains the new moon of Aries. We have 12 days coming at us that are going to infuse our entire year with greater blessings and limitlessness. But before we get there, we want to understand what the energy of this week contains, what makes it all possible, how to keep our heads in the right space with the right focus, how to align our actions with that focus, and what to look forward to as a result of that effort. Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we provide our listeners with the most powerful and practical tools that come to us from the teachings of Kabbalah, so that every episode ends up offering wisdom and tools that can help you not only this week, but any week of the year, any year of your life. And this is one of those weeks that just has so much influence and impact on our internal world that we actually were even considering doing a second bonus episode to give you all of it in 1 week rather than try to shrink it down to a 30-minute episode. So Eitan, at least initially, where do you feel this conversation begins?
So the Zohar tells us regarding this portion, the energy of this portion, that thoughts is the beginning of everything. And there's two types of thoughts. Thoughts that are originating from men and thoughts that are originating from the Creator. Thoughts that originate from men is thoughts that attach to finite results, and that's where all negativity comes from, because the seed of everything is thoughts, which will manifest itself into feelings, actions, words. So what does it mean practically when the Zohar tells us this is the week to focus on purifying our thoughts and aligning our thoughts with the Creator? What does it mean practically? This is the week to recognize, this is thoughts that is not going to serve me. Because we don't pay attention. Really, when we are talking a lot about consciousness is what's the seed of everything. What is consciousness? The thoughts that you believe in. If you believe in a thought, I'm not liked right now, and you believe in it, it becomes energy. You become defensive. You're overthinking about yourself. You become insecure. It affects your energy that you're not present with other people. If you believe the thoughts, which is the thoughts of the Creator, there's an endless energy of a Creator shining upon you right now. Endless possibilities, endless miracles. Just open yourself to that. Everything is possible in this very moment. If you really believe that thought, that this energy is available, you'll be open. You'll have joy. Your energy will be unlimited. So really, this week, from the portion of the week point of view, is the time to really question what type of thoughts I'm connected with. I'm connected with unlimited thoughts that actually allows me to connect with the unlimited force of the Creator. And we want to break down what does it mean practically. Or am I connected to thoughts that manipulated and stems from fears, from agenda, for trying to protect ourselves? So really, because thoughts is the beginning of everything. I would say thoughts and desire. So especially that this coming Wednesday evening, it is the new moon of the month of Aries, which according to the Torah is the first month of the year. is the head of all months. So we really want to open ourselves to connect to what's available in this first day of the month, in the month of Aries, which Aries in Hebrew means Nisan, and the first two letters of the word Nisan is Nes, is miracle, which is the seeds of all miracles, leaving external Egypt, internal Egypt, which representing limitation. So really, this is the month that we want with our thoughts and in desires, align ourselves to the endless possibilities that are available every day in our life. If I don't have that, I always will be short of manifesting my true potential and what the Creator wants for me. So this is the first. It's all about thoughts and desire, especially in this first month of the year. By the way, the first precepts were given to the Israelites after leaving Egypt is blessing of the month. Guess what? The word month, chodesh, comes from the same letters of Chadash, new, miraculous, and you. What the Creator tells all of us the message. Do you really trust the Creator? I'm an endless force of good. Are you really trusting that every day can be new, renewed, miraculous, beyond any expectation? And what does it mean practically? I would like both of us to truly open it. What is the daily work to pause and to align with the right desire and the right thought, to allow that energy of unionness, endless possibilities are available. What does it mean practically beside philosophical understanding? Do you want to start?
I think for a lot of us, the effort that you're talking about seems very high level, not very practical. But I think when you remember, you started off saying, Eitan, that the whole idea of the seed, right? That even if you think about it on a very scientific level, right? If you take a seed and you know that there's a tree that's going to come from that seed, but also that tree is also going to bear fruits that have seeds and trees and so on. It's infinite, right? The Kabbalists often use the tree and the seed and the roots, that language, because it's very much connected to the idea that you're speaking about. That when we look at the seed of, or let's take it down to something more basic, I'm experiencing a challenge. Doesn't really matter what. I'm going through something difficult. I'm struggling, not only maybe struggling internally, but even externally. I don't know what the solution is. I don't have a plan. I don't see the way out. If I can remember that what I'm experiencing is a seed that came from the tree, that came from the seed, back all the way to the thought of creation, which I think is also an important thing to cover, because the thought of creation was just to benefit the creations, right? That the light of the Creator wants only to bestow goodness. The universe is an elevating universe. There is no intention of lack or limitation on the part of the Creator whatsoever. We are the ones that create or perceive limitation or lack. So when I remember that, and I don't know if you want to get deeply into that, but when I remember that I can trace the seed of the challenge I'm going through to creation itself, it helps me to remember that this is also, as difficult as it is, as painful, as hard, I know its purpose is goodness. And I know that if it's happening to me, I have everything I need to go through it. That doesn't mean I know how it's going to turn out right now. That doesn't mean I know I have all the answers right now consciously. But I know that because of the nature of the universe, this is not a punishment. This is not a bad sign or a negative, um, you know, an indication that I've done anything wrong. The opposite, that it's an indication to me that I am being called to blossom into something. Another branch wants to emerge. Another fruit wants to be born, and that's the process that I need to go through right now. So even though that's not necessarily as tangible or as practical, I think what the Kabbalists teach about connecting our thoughts to the thoughts of the creator, that limitlessness, right? My finite perspective that's based upon my upbringing and my education and my experience, it always forces me into a narrow perspective. And even if I wake up in the morning and I say, Creator, I know that you're always thinking about ways to bring light and blessings to me, and I want to live constantly connected to your thoughts. That's already, even though I know I have to deal with garbage during the day, annoying people, difficult situations, hard, reality to face, my intention of being connected to the true intention behind why I'm going through what I'm going through immediately alters my perspective. Immediately is going to not only show me different things, but give me a different energy to approach what I'm going through. I often say to people, you're already going through it anyway. Why not go through it better? Be more joyful, be more at ease, be more embracing of it rather than trying to swim upstream. It's already happening. So the real choice in that moment is, how do I go through it? And my for me, it was really a life-changing lesson to realize that the change already begins when I start to attach my own thinking to that original intention to bless me and fill my life with light. Then I can start to actualize or pick apart the trash or the dirt from the gifts that are hiding for me in that situation.
Beautiful. I like it. Now, I want to break it down to practicality for all of us. For all of us. The definition of God, the Creator, it's endless energy of good. Practically, when I say I trust the Creator, or I trust God, or I trust the light, it means that every moment of the day, the endless energy of good, beyond my ability to comprehend how great and how good and how possible, is available. And practically endless means new comparing to where I'm at. Greater and bigger and newer. Now, how do we break it down? My suggestion is, especially in this week, put in your alarm 10 times a day. 10 times a day that you're deciding, you know what, in this one of these 10 times, for 10 times a day, I want to align my thoughts, my desire, my trust that in this very moment, I desire with my thoughts and with my feeling to connect and to allow the endless energy of good, energy of renewal, energy of expansion. I open and I trust and I desire to allow it to go through me and to be manifested in others. Let me give examples how these 10 moments, just 10 all day this energy is available. But let's start with picking 10 moments during the course of the day, because it takes training to shift our consciousness. Because the Kabbalah is saying, where your desire is, that's what you allow. Where your thoughts and your desire are focused on, that's what you allowed. If your desire and focus are at focusing on limited consciousness, That's what you're allowing. If your desire and thoughts are focusing and allowing unlimited moments of the light of the Creator, that's what you allow. And then, of course, you need to deal with life. So let me give an example. Like you said, Elisheva, you have a tough moment. You pause. You embrace. The natural tendency of our mind is to relieve myself from the pain I'm going through in a reactive way, or even asking the Creator, please help me. But is that the only thing that I want? I want so much more. And the question I would ask you, in this very moment when I feel pain, for whatever reason, there's so many filters, I don't feel the endless light. Does the endless light of the Creator, the energy of change, energy of growth, energy of renewal, energy of miracles, is shining upon me right now in the midst of my challenge? The answer is absolutely yes. But my mind say, forget about miracles, forget about endless. I want to fix this specific problem. And I'm saying, no, 1 second, pause. Desire to allow endless energy and blessing right now. The ego wants us to focus on quick fix, not in endless blessing and renewal. Many times we all went through challenges and we're so worried about the challenge, but then we realize He brought us such a greater opportunities. Is it possible in this moment, one of the 10 moments during the day, happen to be a challenging time, or you're not in the best mood, you pause and you're saying, in this very moment, the Creator, I'm open to receive your endless gift. I don't see it, I don't feel it, I don't know in what form, I don't know, it's okay, I don't know, because I know it's no more endless, it's limited. Another moment of these 10 moments. Things seem to be amazing and you're appreciative. But is that endless? Yes, you need to appreciate. It's part of God. But it's not the next level. To trust that the Creator is endless force of good, it means I'm opening myself for constant renewal. I appreciate, but I'm open even for more to receive and to give. Because if it's just about receiving, it's no endless anymore. It's finite. The only way endless energy can allow to be continuously endless, that the thoughts of the desire is not just to receive, is to continue. You have a moment of pain that reminding you past traumas, past pain, known patterns, known feelings, old feelings. It's a choice. Do I get myself stuck in that cage of the past? And that's what happened, and that's what's going to happen, and I'm upset. And you catch yourself in the same, and you say, you know what? Part of me feel same old, but I choose to pause, and in the midst of this limited loop of my mind and my feelings and my projection, I am open to the limitless light that's shining in spite of my limited mind. The fact that you have the thoughts of the desire to say, I want to break out of this loop, out of this limited scenario. The fact that you've done something amazing and part of your ego wants to hold on to what you've done as your identity. It's okay. We all like to be loved and appreciated. It's okay. But I want much more in this very moment. So much wants to come. Let go of the past. Let's go of that false identity. The real thing is endless light. I'm open for the next level of renewal and growth and miracles. This is the week and the month manifests itself in Passover, that we're really planting the seed of freedom from any limited thought. What is freedom from Egypt? Freedom from any limited and limiting thoughts and desire. I want everything. To want everything it cannot end up with me because it becomes finite. It's not everything anymore. It's not endless. So it has to be for the sake of sharing. Any selfishness is limiting the endless thoughts of the Creator. So if you break it down to, 10 times a day, I'm just pausing and asking and desiring. By you desiring, you break through all the layers and the curtains and you open yourself to what's really available. Yeah, but I don't feel great right away. It's okay. Desire, intention, thoughts, even though you don't see immediate results, you are generating that energy into your life. Trust it. The fact that you don't feel immediate results or immediate manifestation, it's a blessing. It's part of the blessing because it's bigger than, oh, I feel great right away. But if you're persisting with that energy, you'll see miracles.
It's funny, something you said reminded me, I read in a parenting book that when you have a child, when a child is born, it's like the child is like a packet of seeds with no label on it. You don't know what's going to grow from that person, right? And maybe I think as parents we probably make guesses and assumptions, or we even inject our own, this is what I want for them, this is what I think would be good for them. But ultimately, you could probably ask your own parents, right? Did you think when I was born, did you ever imagine that I would get to be where I'm at now, or that I would be this or be interested in that? And the answer is most of the time, no. And I think that that analogy works very well for our relationship with the light force of the Creator, which is like the ultimate parent, right? In the study of the 10 luminous emanations, it speaks about there that, right, the light doesn't change. It's only the vessel or the container, the creation is different, so therefore the light expresses itself differently in every creation. So Rav Ashlag even makes the comment that, if you take a bunch of flowers, the flowers are probably more connected to the light of the Creator than we can ever imagine to be, because we're so complicated, because we're so, our thinking is so narrow and boxed in, and we have so many belief systems that are based on, even if it was a reality that existed at some time, it's definitely not the reality we live in now. So when I think about that, the idea that, like, I am boxing myself in and asking myself questions like, how do I know that's true? Where did I learn that? What would happen if I thought about it differently? And a situation I had with a student over the summer, I think it was, I met with a student, and it's a perfect example, whose father had a very serious diagnosis, and one that was going to dramatically alter whatever remaining time he left. It wasn't a terminal diagnosis, but it was an extremely dangerous, let's say, life-risking situation for the rest of his life. And she was beside herself. She didn't know what to do, and she couldn't see the light in that situation. So after talking about it and trying to look at it in different angles and shift consciousness, I said to her, it doesn't cost you anything, right? What if you made room for a miracle? Kind of expecting, not hoping, obviously praying, but just assuming there's an answer you haven't found yet, a solution that you haven't come across, and just leave space for that. Don't get bogged down by the diagnosis, the medications, the like, put that aside, hear it, face it, but also know that there is a miraculous reality and miraculous possibilities that are there somewhere. So I didn't meet with her for a few months, and she came up to me in a class, maybe even 6 weeks ago, and she said, do you remember the meeting that we had where you told me to make room for a miracle for my father? I said, sure. How's he doing? She said, well, he still has the condition, but we found a protocol that he's going to be fine. He's not going to suffer for the rest of his life. It's really going to be okay. And she said, and what did we do? Nothing. I just started thinking differently. And I saw, she was saying, she saw how it was just like, that's the light. We just have to get out of the way. And the act of stepping aside or making space for a different reality very well can change the scenario. And to me, it was a confirmation that as much as it's difficult to change your perspective about something, to not have a hard heart or be pessimistic, or, it's hard not to be influenced by the doctors or the lawyers or the accountant or the economists, right? It's hard not to be influenced by them. But at the same time, it's simple. It's not a complicated shift. It's simply letting go of the narrow, limited perspective to open yourself up to something infinite and the word endless. It's very hard for us to understand what endless means, except for that there's no end, right? It's not what it is, it's what it's not. That energy has no end. And when we connect ourselves to it, I can think of so many examples of situations people have experienced where they were in a situation that seemed terrible and the end of the world, and now 6 months later, whatever it is, it's there's a 180. Not because they found a way to manipulate the law or they convinced their son to break up with it. No, simply by opening up to another reality, opening up, connecting our consciousness, our thoughts, our words, and actions to that limitless source really changes the trajectory. And knowing that, trusting that, is the heavy lift. It's simple, but it's not easy. And if you can do it, there is no way that things can't change. It's that simple.
Beautiful. Some people asking, so is it just to have these unlimited thoughts and desires and openness for the endless? It starts with that. Of course, we live in a world of sometimes you have to push against gravity and against laziness and follow what you know in your heart and in your soul, the right thing. But it starts with trusting and desiring to be guided, to be directed, to be energized, and to channel that into everything that you do.
And by the way, making the point about the new moon and the 12 days of Aries and Pesach that's coming up, those cosmic windows act as like a vitamin, right? To give you the strength to make that leap in consciousness, to make that jump. Life can change literally little by little, gradually, but it's really taking advantage of the connections in those specific windows in time that help us to make that leap from it's the end of the world to it's actually the greatest blessing. And I'm very excited for everyone to open themselves up to those possibilities this month specifically. So definitely look out for the bonus content this week, the bonus episode. Anything else you want to share, Eitan, before we sign off?
So even mistakes. Let's say I don't have the right desire, I don't have the right consciousness. But after the fact that you're saying, I'm open, because the endless light is available in the present moment. So anything that takes me, include mistakes, to focus on the past, I'm limiting myself to the endless moment. Yes, I want to learn in this moment about the mistake and what can I change about yesterday, but I don't want to be stuck, because being stuck in the past is being stuck in limitation. The renewal energy of miracles and growth, new mind, new heart, new reality, new relationship is available in this very moment. So just let's open ourselves to what's available.
Absolutely. And trusting that we can really leave the past behind. Absolutely. Weekly Energy Boost is available on all podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can follow us on those platforms to receive more content to support you in living what we speak about in every episode. You can also go to weeklyenergyboost.com where you can search through our archives, send us a message, and support Weekly Energy Boost by clicking the donate button. But as always, as you listen to this week's episode and think of all the people who could benefit from this message, who need even 5 minutes of consciousness to shift their perspective, share this episode, rate and review if you haven't yet, and we'll see you next week on the Weekly Energy Boost.